So, first off, curious here to know whether this bell housing, designed for a GM T56 to bolt to a Gen 3 Hemi. I sold the T56 because, I was going to do some projects later. But we have this ZF 6-speed from a C4 Corvette. Curious if we can adapt this bell housing to work on it. Because that'd be handy, and I can put it behind really whatever I want. Honestly, I can actually put it behind this truck because this is the same Gen 3 Hemi bell housing is the same as the small block Dodges.
For anybody that knows anything about these ZF 6-speeds, this is the black plate one, which apparently is the better one. These are supposed to be awesome shifting transmissions, and like they'll handle power pretty good as long as you don't power shift them. So no lift shifting, Steven.
No.
Other than the fact they're a little heavy and hard to get adapters for, they're supposed to be pretty decent tranny.
But, well, I mean, I can possibly drill holes, make it work. I have coverage everywhere around it except for this top hole here, and this top hole, I guess, but I can always fab something up. And also if I get
we don't really care if it's SFI approved.
Yeah, it ain't going in some top like 6-second car. It's going in.
It's not a drag. It's not a drag vehicle.
I think that should actually work.
And I mean that heavy steel one, we can do whatever we want. Really, we could cut this rear flange off and make a new flange because you want it to sit fairly tight here.
This will give me a good idea on how my throw-out bearing sits, because on my Hemi swapped Firebird, I had a machine shop make me this spacer so that the throw-out bearing would actually fit in there, right? It actually fits on top there, and that might be.
So you could run longer bolts.
Yeah, as long as these bolt holes line up with these, but actually.
As long as you got two directly across from each other.
Holy hell, their centers, the centers are pretty damn close as well.
So that and your throw-out bearing might work together. Although this might be a little thick. That's the other thing, we gotta check transmission stick out with your bell housing on. Because it might be too short, it might be too long, we don't know, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's one thing we can check real quick right now. But it's close enough. There we are 6 1/4 inches roughly. And this is 6 5/8.
And what's your stick out supposed to be?
1/4. I would have to measure where the flywheel sits in relation to the back of the block. But what is that? 5/8 1/4. What's math? 3/8. So it's 3/8 deeper, which isn't too bad. I can easily deal with that.
Hey Steven,
in my garage at home.
What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking myself a nice AGD Light.
Big Rock Brewery, send us a banner for our wall.
We will fly it proudly.
AGD, #1 beer.
We'd like it if you send us beer too, but we're not going to push it yet.
Yet. Keyword there is yet.
But yeah, so far that's our plans for today.
Well, I'm glad we got a plan to do something with this now. The original plan, when I picked this transmission up, like this was a partial payment for a job I did. This and the big block standing over there. For that engine swap I did for Bob. And I was planning on, when the plan was we were going to try and do Rocky Mountain Race Week, when we had a lot of ambitions and thought we would have money, which we don't. We were going to plan and put that in the Galaxy, so we had a 6-speed behind the 390. But cooler heads prevailed, and we decided maybe if we just build ourselves drag cars and we leave the Galaxy as the comfy cruiser it is, it'd just be nice. Because like it needs some framework on the front end on it. And the brake job ended up taking quite a bit of time and money to get it all figured out. So I think we're just going to leave the auto tragic in it for now and just make a cruiser out of it, eh, Steve-O?
Yeah, I think that'll be a good plan for it.
But as you can see, we got pretty much everything moved in here, and it is a raging disaster.
Hopefully.
Let's walk through here, Stephen. What all we got? We got the big block in pieces. This is the small block that was in my Corvette, which
is going in.
It's going to your dad.
Yeah, it's going to go to my dad. We got a 72 Ventura. We know we're a 700R4, 4L60, whatever you want to call it. We know where transmission is, and we're putting a set of Vortec heads on here, and hopefully find a Vortec.
So anybody looking for a vintage Holley Street Dominator intake, and this had the hole drilled in it for the old fill spout. I'm going to be getting rid of that. I might hang those valve covers on the wall because my dad had a set like those when I was a kid. So they got some nostalgia to me, and I've only ever seen that pair in this one. The Jag rear end, what's the plan?
That eventually will be adapted into the Firebird, I'm thinking. Hopefully, as long as I can make it work. That'll be probably a little easier to put in there than I was going to originally put in the IRS from an 06 SRT8 300. But this looks a little more compact and a little easier.
And it's the right bolt pattern.
Yeah, it's the right wheel pattern, so I don't have to piss around with anything.
The tires off the Firebird, you got lots of them. What's the rad out of?
The rad is out of that 06 Chrysler SRT8.
And what do we plan to do? We're going to take these fans and see if we can mount them on the new rad we picked up for the truck?
Yeah, I might see if I can throw them on the new rad for this thing, because get rid of that mechanical fan. I've never been a fan of those.
Okay, what else we got in here?
Horsepower.
We got the dual mass flywheel out of a Corvette that transmission come out of. Nice pistol grip shifter that we might have to adapt onto that tranny. 6L90, your SRT8 seats out of that same Chrysler. And you can see like what a mess. I think today's Saturday and I think Sunday is going to be a cleanup day. And we'll throw it all on a time lapse. And we'll just start cleaning and organizing. And once we get it cleaned up and organized, we can actually work in here because, I mean, if you look at this mess, you can't even get around in here. We can do a garbage run. I think we're going to get a dumpster.
Oh, a veneer, all of what?
We got LS intakes, LS fuel rails. Oh, there's your heater core out of your Dodge. Another LS intake, exhaust systems, Jag parts, steering column from your truck, the hood off your truck, the hood that's going on your truck, your door, my tool cart that is a disaster, needs to be cleaned up, a race seat, more Jag parts, LS parts, random parts. Hey, look, tools back there. Brake parts for the Galaxy, the V12. Steven has an extra heavy duty engine stand with lots of mounting points. I think that'll work good for the Jag engine. Corvette radiator, more garbage. I got three sets of coils for GM pickup here. I might adapt those to fit on the Jag if I do coil near plug ignition on it. That disgusting wiring harness off the Jaguar. Recycling, full of AGD. Steven and I, this morning, we stopped at our wrecker friends and we picked up a rad. Thought it's a reman and it's still fairly fresh paint on it. I don't think it got much use. It's bigger than the one in your truck right now, yeah, which is good, but it should fit no problem. It's got the same style mounts on it. We got the bird bath hood to put on the truck. Should fit okay. We picked up the cowl for it too, and we got the cowl sit on there. The cowl sits really nice. It's supposed to fit, and it looks like it does. What a mess. And as you can see, my Dodge has been sitting here dripping fuel as we unloaded and dripping oil out of the box. And
this is the golden ticket.
Oh yes, the GT500 supercharger.
That is going to be going on the beautiful
all kinds of parts for Steven's pickup. We got the 6.1 Hemi.
This here.
We pulled the valve cover off it. We might pull some more off it tomorrow if we get stuff cleaned up. Here's that heavy duty engine stand, which I'm happy about.
And this here is my 5.7. It's a junk truck engine out of like an 07 pickup. Spun rod journals, like the rod main, so it's done. I really don't care. So all it's doing is being assembled, bolted down, and I'm making a custom intake manifold out of aluminum for that supercharger for the 6.1, but I'm gonna build it on this because I really don't care if I'm welding away and shit gets in this engine. It doesn't hurt my feelings whatsoever.
And when you're done with it, you can sell parts off it or do whatever.
Yeah, I can sell the heads, and if they're any good, they'll probably be screwed after I'm done. But
and yes, this is a 6.1, 6.1 liters. What do we got over here?
Over here we got our welding bay. We have a nice Matco multi-process 110 welder. I got my Eastwood TIG 200 down here. Love that thing. And we have a Invertech.
That was my free welder.
This one will probably work. We want to weld something a bit thicker that this thing can't handle.
It'll do TIG and it'll do arc.
And yeah, same with this. This thing will do stick and TIG. I got the what the hell is that called? Gas nozzle kit. Gas lens, that's what it's called. And Yeah, hopefully soon we'll have this shop set up. We'll get the power box up there ran down for 220 plugs so we can actually run this. And we can
picked this nice little toolbox up that's going to work good for welding consumables at the landfill. I was over there working on one of their garbage compactors, and one of the guys come down the hill driving the garbage truck. He said, hey, there's a little toolbox might work well in your new shop if you go grab it at the top of the hill. I pulled it out of the pile for you. So sure enough, we went up there and grabbed that. Haven't really done anything here yet. Got some nice pegboard and stuff. And we've got this room here with the breaker box and storage. I think we're going to put oil and stuff in here. We got our stove too, which we're contemplating using as a powder coating stove because there's no racks in it anyway. So I think it'd work good for that. But yeah. So next thing you guys are, oh well, there's one more thing here, Steven. What's that in your truck?
Oh, it is, we were trying to see if a Firebird center console would work. I don't think so. Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna, if you had a bench seat, we'd be able to cut it down and use it, but
you know, it was just
an idea.
Hopes and giggles, seeing if it would work.
You also have the shifter
that I've modified haggardly many years ago for my Firebird, which
we were, because we were planning on putting a floor shifter in, and we figured we could use that Firebird one. But if we're going to put the stick shift in, it's not going to matter. No. And I actually have the pedals, the master and the slave cylinder from that Corvette too. So we could try and mount that in the truck here, or just find a set of factory pedals. But yeah, next thing you're going to see tomorrow, like we're done here for the day, we'll maybe have one more beer. And then we're going to hitch a ride home. And next thing you're going to see, we'll put it on a time lapse tomorrow morning. We're just going to start cleaning. We'll probably put this up in the corner and it'll be a couple hours of work, but we're going to try and get it cleaned up enough we can work in here. And then I think we're going to start cleaning up the floors and painting the floors in the truck, eh?
Yeah, get the truck ready to go and hopefully start getting some harnesses put in the very
Yeah, because if we can get the rust buffed out and some primer put down, we can start putting stuff back together. You got a heater core coming?
Yeah, should hopefully be here middle of the next week.
We picked up some more loom so I can finish up his harness here. And we got the Chevy 4-wire or 4-pin ignition module so I can finish up the ignition system. We grabbed a coil for that too. And I have an alternator, and don't listen, Steven. I'm going to convert this to Chevy 1-wire alternator because I just want it to work, and I want to get rid of this mess and this mess here, because that actually would work really good for mounting the coil. So I think maybe I'll just wait for a day when Steven's not in here and I'll just convert it for him, and then he'll have no choice. But yeah, let's cut to the time lapse.